Widows, Bossicles, how are we all doing? Really quick intro. Andrew, Proving Demons, is going live because apparently I'm a bully for mentioning him once in the last year and a half, 2 years maybe. Let's get into this shite.
We have, we have nearly 250 people in. Okay, so who here is aware of these debunking channels, right? Now, I'm actually friends with a number of debunking channels. I have no issues with debunking. I have no issues with people criticizing or talking about content, as long as they keep it strictly to the content and don't take personal attacks or lie about people. It's going to be a big topic tonight. Sai, welcome to Demon Army Soldier. Please enjoy custom badges, emojis, discounted merch, and your bragging rights, and my eternal appreciation for you. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because there is one channel called Beardo Gets Scared, who a lot of us are having a really big problem with at the moment. And not because they're outing or doing anything that's harming us in any way. Not monetarily, not view-wise. They're harming us mentally and our mental health, and it's not just me, it's a number of people. If you haven't noticed, as of recently, I have only just started going live again. As you are fully aware, and I've made you guys aware on my channel that I had found out my mother has terminal illness, my dad had a heart attack, my dog died. God, it sounds like a country song at this point. Fucking hell, what else? I had to move back in with my parents for a bit. I went through,
didn't know any of that,
yeah,
but you know,
hell,
I've made one video in the last year and a half on him, maybe 2 years.
And getting harassed constantly by this Beardo guy who started making up lies about me, which I want to discuss those, has actually genuinely affected my mental health to the point that I didn't want to film, I didn't want to live stream, I genuinely didn't really want to make content anymore. And I'm not the only one on this one. And I'm glad I made a phone call to a bunch of YouTubers he's made videos on and had experiences with. Because they told me some things that none of you know and I didn't know. And they gave me exclusive permission to tell you their side of things as well. I believe with 300 people in is probably a fair amount of people I can start discussing. I've got a whole paper here.
Show me that
paper here of everybody's stories and things I need to talk about. So I will probably tell my story. What do you think, first or last?
No, I think you should give them an idea of how it's affected you first, because that's what prompted the whole thing.
Affecting me first. Right, let's start with me then. In one of Beardo's last videos on me, he reacted to something that literally had nothing to do with him other than he openly admitting he was defending friends of his, which were the Ouija brothers. God rest their channel's soul. I don't know if they'll ever get it back. They probably will. Typically, YouTube can handle hacking, so don't fret if they're never back.
I'm glad you've been kind to the Ouija brothers.
I mentioned in my last live stream as well that regardless of anything, I would never want to see somebody lose their livelihood, and I would never wish the death of a channel upon somebody unless they really, really deserved it, right? For me, my issue was in his last video, he said a few things that were absolutely false. And interestingly enough, another bunch of YouTubers then came to me and told me about things that he lied about them as well, which I will bring up here in a minute.
Let's go.
First and foremost, well, apparently he said that I had wished upon his death.
Yes, you did.
Said I wish he'd get in a car crash.
Yes, you did.
He said that I'd threatened to come to his house or something.
Yeah.
Never done that. I've never threatened to turn up to somebody's house. It is absolute bollocks, and that is
I never said
the narrative or trying to make someone look
Can I pause this?
mud in ways that are absolutely ridiculous. On top,
I never said anything about coming to my house, you lying prick. What you can do, Andrew, is go and watch my videos on live streams, because I don't delete my stuff like a fucking coward and then try to hide my lives behind streams that you delete. Absolute coward. Somebody from your side that was going to come around my house and all the rest of it, you know, fucking exploring with Fanny. I ended up installing CCTV all around my house just in case, because, you know, he was going around damaging people's properties, threatening people, smashing cars up, smashing windows and all the rest of it. But shit, maybe he will come after me. He's told people he's coming after me. Absolute liar. Because you did. See? I hope you fucking die, man. I hope you die in a fucking car crash, man. And then I turned up in your chat and you pussied out of it.
Top of that, he tried to insinuate that I was, what was the word we decided to use for this one? A wrongin'.
Yeah.
You are a wrongin'.
PDF file.
I didn't call you that at all.
Yeah,
That's a good way of putting it.
He tried to insinuate that
No, I didn't.
Olivia, when I was with her, was underage, and also tried to insinuate I was a 40-year-old man. which is absolutely ridiculous.
What I actually said was she was around 16, it's legal, but immoral. You haven't watched the video, have you? You absolute buffoon.
Everyone knows, interestingly enough, while I was with Olivia, she was absolutely of age, 18 years old, right? I was in my early 20s. This is many years ago. But insinuating things like that in front of 20,000 people in a video, essentially calling me a PDF file.
You were absolutely lying.
That's like the
lying.
lowest of the lowest you can do. And that is literally disgusting in my eyes. Now, I have sat there, been extremely depressed about all these slanderous things being said to me, to the point that I just genuinely I gave up. I didn't want to do anything. It really...
So why has it taken you a month to come up with this bullshit story? Because you've been out investigating and releasing videos, so none of this makes sense.
And you did it last night. You called me a pedo. What the fuck? Griff's in your chat. No, I didn't. You called us. And then it became a name-calling, mudslinging thing. I don't know. I wasn't there. Nobody showed any proof. However, you have to take into account that you were in a relationship with Really Haunted's daughter, who was barely out of school, and you were a much older-looking man. Some people have said things like, she was underage. I think that's an American thing with certain states. The age of consent is 18. In the UK, it's 16. Listen, I don't agree with it. If you're a 16-year-old girl and your boyfriend is 18, I suppose that's fine. If you're a 16-year-old girl and your boyfriend is in his 40s, that guy in his 40s probably needs to belong in a cell. It's a little bit close, you know what I'm saying? Legally, it's fine. Morally, it is bankrupt as fuck. You weren't in your 40s. You weren't in your 40s. You weren't in your 40s. But you were a damn sight older than her at 16. A lot of people were trying to tell me that, you know, she was younger than that. I saw no proof of it. I kept my mouth shut about it. As far as I know, it was all legal. Immoral, but legal.
Really upset me. No, not 16. Obviously not.
No, they're asking if he said she was 16.
Oh, yeah, he insinuated she was 16 and I was 40. And then he went, but I have it on good authority or whatever, that she was actually younger than that. What a dick move. But
did I?
We're going to keep this completely
because
simple.
my videos are live.
BS, and honestly,
prove it.
Nobody should ever be called something like that unless it is true. I think that is a horrible thing to say.
Toady, you can fuck off. You're always in my live streams, you little rat.
Everybody wants me to talk about the hypocrisy thing, and I will do that at the end. I do want to talk about some experiences some other YouTubers had, but
let's go.
Enough. The numbers keep dropping between 300 and less. I'm going to see... Oh, what's it matter? I'm keeping the video up anyway.
Oh, that'll make a change.
Right, so... I've been on the phones with everyone from Adam Mark to Ghost Theory to Ghost Club Paranormal, Ghosts of Britain, and they had a lot to say.
I made one video about...
Just to give you an idea of the type of dude this guy is, for someone who claims to be all about the truth, especially in this debunking field, to make things up about people is absolutely horrible. But to give you an idea, right, Adam Mark has gone through a severe depression due to the fact that his mother passed away not too long ago.
And I made one video before his mother passed away, and when she passed away, I had nothing else to do with him. I even spoke to him privately.
The day he found out his mother had 24 hours to live, Beardo had decided he was going to upload a video on him. Adam had emailed Beardo and said, mate, can you please wait? Give it some time, because I really don't need this right now. My mom's got less than a day to live. Beardo basically told him to sod off. You know? Just...
Did I? Oh, I'm going to dig through my emails. The whole thing of I did it when the day his mother died and I knew about it is absolute bollocks. Absolute bollocks.
Uploaded it anyway. Completely on top of knowing full well the state. And him knowing, keep in mind, Beardo knew that his mom had 24 hours to live.
Absolute bullshit. Where do we draw the line? This is Exploring with Fighters between content and bullying. I think it's gotten to the point where these debunked channels forget where people We're people that support our families, making exciting videos for everyone. What do you think I'm doing? You guys are a fucking joke, man. You mess with bodies, you lie to your audience, you put bones in walls, and then you're going to call me a liar. You have no credibility to say that I'm a liar, whilst lying through your fucking teeth.
Still decided to upload a video that, as we all know, his videos tend to...
Adam Mark contacted me after the video went out, you bellend. But you wouldn't know that because you didn't watch the content. You're just taking the word of him.
To go and swarm over people's channels, which I think is absolutely disgusting as well. But that's...
Don't go to channel spreading hate. Every video.
We'll
Liar.
get to that in a bit. Ghost Club Paranormal. She is... Jade has given me permission to say this. I called her
good.
from the moment I mentioned Beardo's name. She almost had a panic attack on the phone. She's ended up in hospital from the harassment she's received and the anxiety she's received from him. Basically name-calling her, accusing her of calling him misogynistic, which she swears up and down.
She did it in her live in front of tons of people, but again, a coward took the video down to hide the evidence.
It never happened. She didn't call him misogynistic.
Yes, she did.
Basically make her look bad before doing the debunking. I don't understand the purpose of this unless you're trying to send people after him. Claiming that they were trying to date ghosts, which is just, they just sat there going, what the hell? Like, that's just really rude of you to say about.
He went off about me because someone else went to his Discord showing him what was being done to me and he didn't want to call that out. You had a private falling out with someone and I said this isn't the place for it. If this is hurting your feelings, if people faking their videos and getting their feelings hurt by the truth being called out, the internet isn't for you. You're a bunch of melts.
But even worse, she now has to wear a heart monitor and she has severe anxiety and panic attacks just at the thought of Beardo because of how hard he went after her. She also claims she tried to contact him, and there's another YouTuber who tried to contact me about this. She tried to contact him about one of the debunks, and he had flat out told her, according to her, that he didn't even watch the videos before doing the debunking, but he only read the transcripts, which, interestingly enough, Lee Steer of Ghost of Britain, I got off the phone with him today. Now, keep in mind, none of these people spoke to each other.
I watched most of the first video and got bored and turned it off, and then I looked at the transcripts for part 2 and 3, realised it was full of shite, and then didn't make a video because they were claiming I was a bully. So I thought if I make a video, I'm a bully. Congratulations, you've lied again.
They just spoke to me, said the same. He got debunked and called a fake. Now, I know Lee Steer, he is a complete skeptic, and he does not fake anything. He's not one of these people who goes out.
Lee Steer, you are a liar. You've been in my live streams for weeks and weeks and weeks, Beardo bro. You even invited me to your shitty museum. You're a joke, mate.
Trying to make content. He's a Facebook creator, and he has his haunted museum, and just says DR60s, right? But
which are bullshit.
He went to contact Beardo and say, hey, mate, listen, no hard feelings. Just want to let you know I'm a skeptic as well. Lee Steer is actually a very well-known, renowned ghost hunter here in the UK. Quite famous, actually. And contacted him to try to talk it out. Apparently, according to him as well, Beardo had told him, I didn't actually watch your video. I read the transcript. So I don't understand.
No. I can show the messages. What I actually said to him was, I've watched the shorts and reacted to the shorts. That's all I needed to look at. That's the content you put out. That's what I react to. Look at this. Fuck you, Beardo. You play with action figures.
I don't understand how you can go debunking videos when you don't even watch the videos in the first place. But Ghost of Britain himself did not feel he was being bullied, but he has only had one video made about him. But his main thing was, it's not really fair to call someone fake and give someone a stipulation like that for thousands of people to see when you didn't even bother researching in any way. Ghost Club.
I don't have to research. I'm watching the videos that are played to me in full. Those videos were clips, shorts.
The one I feel mostly bad for, because she, to this day, has to live in constant anxiety. And even after the phone call, she was messaging me saying, I'm like, it's freaked her out now. Like, her heart rate, she was sat on the couch and she told me her heart rate literally shot through the roof just hearing his name. Real quick, Steffi dropping a humongous tenor. I don't understand why people seek out to destroy other people. That is definitely a good question, Steffi, and we will talk about that in just a moment. So thank you so much. That is incredibly generous of you. Sorry, I got the hiccups again. And I will definitely use that for the channel because me and Dan are still talking about going to Netherlands, which should be a lot of fun and get lots of content there. Right, Ghost Theory. Now, we all know that there is a lot of back and forth between them and Ghost Theory, and I'm going to discuss something else about all that regarding Ghost Club and Ghost Theory.
You and Ghost Theory are going at each other.
He has lied multiple times about him, which I believe, because I have been lied about online by him. Apparently lied about saying he's gone to film school. Joe adamantly swears up and down, and he has no reason to lie about it. I mean, that's a good credential. Why, if you did go to film school,
That's what they've told their audience. That's what their own audience believes. What the fuck?
awesome. You should be proud of it. Never went to film school. He still keeps insisting he did. Still keeps insisting with no evidence, no shred of evidence. Which, ironically, he got on me in his last video about not providing proof, which, by the way, I didn't. I didn't have to provide proof because I'm not going to step to some people's levels of trying to out people for things that are not pertinent to the conversation. But without a shred of proof, trying to lie about people and make people look bad. Now, again, Beardo, if you are watching, which I know you are, if you want to talk about this, that would be fantastic. In fact, you could discuss why you've lied or tried to slander people or make them look bad when it has absolutely nothing to do with a debunk. You know, criticizing people or trying to insinuate things.
Here's your debunk. Your channel's been called Proving Demons for 8 years, and you have proved precisely fuck all. Read your channel description and tell me where you've ever captured anything despite saying you regularly do. There's your debunk.
Just myself. You have on multiple occasions tried to insinuate I'm a criminal. Now that's really annoying. I was actually watching the skull video you did on me where I went to the crypt. And, you know, I'm not actually that upset about the fact that that bothered you due to the fact that, yes, it was extreme. I did.
We weren't bothered. You hoped I died in a car crash and you cried on a live stream. You're a fucking bully, bro. Who's the bully now? Somebody that is lying and weaponizing, 403
Didn't
people.
go there on purpose for shock value. And I have, again, openly admitted that I'm in my excitement. And the first time being in a situation like that, I made a mistake. Hands up to that, right?
Good for
What I'm
you.
more upset about is the beginning of the video where you tried to insinuate that I cut the lock off of the crypt, where you tried to insinuate I cut a hole in the fence, and then, again, tried to insinuate that I am some sort of criminal.
Me, when they got down, they're walking up around there pretending they don't know what they're looking for. It's like, oh, maybe we could find a way in. Maybe we could find a way into the tomb. And then he's like, this is what I'm looking for. Oh, don't go down that way. Come down this. He knows exactly where he's going. He's been here before by the look of it. Check it out for yourself. I'm not going to do the whole thing because... now, obviously, all of this barbed wire has been all across down here to stop people getting in. And it's been pushed to one side to make a path. And this door, I assume this door had a lock on it. Now, it's not the type of investigating I would do where I would go to somewhere and break in. If I can't just walk in, I ain't go in there. If you've got to cut a lock off, if you've got to climb and break a window, that's a no-no for me. If I can just walk in, or duck under a fence, or jump a fence, I'm cool with that. Now, the fence on the outside of this had a massive hole in it. We can't say... You can't say that these guys cut it. It just... If you watch it from the beginning, there's something off the way he finds this.
Which is also what you said in your last video, saying that our lot apparently, which I will also discuss lots, and division in the paranormal field, because I believe you are actually, I believe you are actually one of the main problems for this.
So I am being careful what I show here. Now, this is the young lady that's lost her mum. She has keys for her mum's old house, but her mum died either 6 or 9 months ago. So this house has been empty for that time. Now, I assume this house must either have been rented, a sort of local housing place, or it was owned and has been sold on. Because... later in the video, there is mail addressed to somebody else there. Somebody's been decorating in there. They comment on the smell of paint. And the keys don't fit anymore.
Final chance. Do you think they changed?
Andrew's just said, have they changed the locks? They try these keys, then Andrew tries the keys. They can't get in. Somebody's changed the locks. There's also, they spot a key in the other side of the door. And what does Andrew do? He puts his arm through a cat flap, Training every potential burglar out there how to break into a house.
Clothes.
It's a really nice house, though.
Yeah, it just needs a bit of carpet.
You can smell the chemicals they've been painting or something in there, can't you?
Yeah.
And you're not a criminal. You just broke into somebody's home. You're not a criminal. And I'm a bully and a nasty man and a liar. That is video evidence of you breaking into a home. The keys don't fit. So you put your arm through a cat flap and you break in. The mail is addressed to somebody else that's later on in the video. And Kaylee says you can smell the paint where they're decorating. Look at it. It's purple. The council haven't decorated this place purple. They decorate things beige, if they decorate at all. This is somebody's home. That's what I called you out for. And I'm the bad guy? And you're not a criminal? That is criminal behaviour.
But insinuating that people are...
You and your friends are not in the paranormal field. You're in the shock factor field. Sticking bones in walls and all that shit. Fighters is going off in the chat there, yet Fighters was ringing me a year ago about the Exploring with Dan stuff. A criminal that you guys introduced to the community.
criminals to a large audience. You must understand, if you have a large audience, you have a responsibility, and slander is not something that you should be doing. You have a responsibility to hold people's reputations and be unbiased. At the moment, what I'm talking about is all things that can be traced right back to the YouTuber stories, videos that have been made, and myself and my own experiences. Real quick, Hecubus dropping humongous tenor. I'm not going to read that out. That you play with action. Okay. Well, Hecubus, to each their own opinion. I am not here to talk shit, that is for sure. I am going to keep this strictly to the point. But Hecubus, thank you so much. That will go towards the trip with Dan back into Europe. Master Natus as well, good to see you both live again, apart from this. Yeah, I know. Well, it had to be said because I'm not going to lie to you. You know, you can judge my content any day of the week.
I do judge your content, Andrew, but a couple of months ago you made me a moderator and the side-eye guy a moderator on your channel because you thought we were funny, and now it's being a bully. You're an absolute sellout.
You say whatever you want about me, but the moment you start inferring that I am a PDF file,
Didn't call you that.
I have a big issue. You know, that is the worst thing you can call someone, and I'm not going to take that lightly. So I'm going to discuss this bullying aspect. Can you show me what you were looking at right there? Okay, well, listen, Ghost Trent. Fuck, I don't know why Dan. I'm not Dan. Ask Dan yourself. Jesus Christ.
I think he is doing.
He is asking Dan in the chat.
That is
Moron.
Off of topic. At the moment, I am discussing the bullying and the harassment. Now, you are saying that there's a problem with both sides. Sure, that's fine. I'm not going to be discussing the Ouija brothers because they don't have a channel here currently to defend themselves. If they had a platform to defend themselves, maybe I talk about them. But I'm not going to do that because that is wrong and immoral to talk about somebody who doesn't have a platform. But more importantly, yes, lying about people is seriously getting on my nerves. I am aware there's a lot of debunkers who are really unhappy with him and his behaviors at the moment. Almost every single paranormal YouTuber that I know is really unhappy with the harassment and the bullying. Ghost Club does feel that she got targeted, and Adam got targeted, and I feel I got targeted too when he knew we were at our week.
Adam's mum, I was told about after my video dropped. How else do you think he got hold of me for releasing a video, you absolute fucking idiot? You lot are all twisting the narrative.
Just maybe hoping to get some sort of reaction. It's almost, in my opinion, as if he's getting off to a reaction so he can have more content, which I guess for someone who likes to do paranormal drama, this is sort of like gold for them, essentially. So that is why this particular live stream, all I really can do is speak about his own behaviors, and if he wants to make a
oh look, A1 Solutions is in there.
Discuss his behaviors, such as lying about people, insinuating people could be criminals, insinuating people could be PDF files, or insinuating, Jesus, there's so much actually. And
it's the narrative of his videos though. Like, for example, I can only call on specifically what he's done to you.
Who are you?
He'll create the narrative and imply that you've done criminal activity to get into a place. He'll imply that you've done something that's like criminal damage. He'll imply that you've set...
I wasn't implying when he stuck his arm through a cat flap. and broke into a house. That is breaking in.
Things up beforehand because of a mistake you made, and you've admitted to the mistake, and you've held your hands up and you've apologized over and over and over again. Like, how many more times has he got to be, pay back for this? It's ridiculous. But people keep regurgitating the exact same problem and trying to villainize you, and it's all part of his narrative. He's making you a bad guy, and there's no reason to, because since that point, what have you done? You've tried your best to.
If Ghost Club Paranormal is so scared of me, why is she in the chat, and why has she sent him a message she knows he's going to read out?
Be in the paranormal community, and you've taken every single hit from everyone.
Well, yes, and there's also this division I want to discuss now. So, talking about paranormal division has been something that is, well, anyone who's been on YouTube long enough, from the start of paranormal channels, will know for a fact that a division in the paranormal community has always been there, and people have always wanted paranormal unity. I mean, I've heard that word a million bloody times, but it never seems to happen, right? But I do feel that in this particular case, and this is something that was concerning, I might actually jump ahead on my topic here and discuss this. At the end of his last video, he said something on the lines of, your crew don't run the game anymore, we're the
The end of my last video, I said Beardo out.
ones in charge, basically, right? I find that so strange to me, okay? That right there literally promotes division. I find that anybody who thinks that the paranormal or urban exploring or whatever the hell your niche is a competition, and you revel at people having lower views than you, I think you are disgusting if that is the type of person you are.
We need Beardo's exes to come out and tell us some info.
Values based on how many views they get is absolutely disgusting. There's no need for it whatsoever. Since when is it a competition? There's plenty of YouTube views for everybody. You know what I mean? I mean, why do we make it into, oh, look at you, I'm not being nasty, right? But you used to be big. Look at your views now. I don't care. That's one thing.
You called me a baby YouTuber. You will never hit 10k. You will never amount to anything. But yet when the shoe is put on the other foot, as in your foot, that's bullying. So you're a bully by your own standards here.
I want to make it extremely clear. I don't care. Obviously, people will care about views if they're a YouTuber because that's ad revenue and it helps support their business or their hobby or whatever they're doing it for.
But
Obviously.
Beardo just bullies.
You're a creator. Why has it got to be a divide?
Well, there doesn't have to be a divide. That's the thing. But for some reason, he's made it a divide. It feels like it's like this impression that there are heroes and villains in this field. There's the good paranormal YouTubers, and then there's the bad paranormal YouTubers. Now, I want you guys to understand.
A1, shut up. Nobody gives a fuck about you.
And all of my mates, all these other YouTubers, the majority of us who are our friends, we know who fakes and who doesn't, right? We know it, okay? But the thing is, end of the day, we're all human beings and we're content creators. I mean, that's...
Guy has 50k subs. That should be enough said. 50k subs in 2.5 years. What have you done with your life, Anthony?
That's how it goes. I understand some channels do everything 100% real. Some people don't. But end of the day, why do we have to hate on each other? Why does it matter, to be honest with you?
Mama Cass, nobody attacked you. Nobody knows who the fuck you are.
I mean, we are all people, and we don't need to sit there and slander people or make them out to be bad because they chose to make a channel in their own time, in their own house, on their own accord. Nobody's forced them to do it. They're not doing it because they're sat there going, free money. No, they're doing it because they enjoy it. What's up? Yeah, Ghost Club, someone will end up losing their lives over this. That's all I have to say on the matter. Leave innocent people alone. I mean, I could tell you stories, horror stories from back in the day. One of the reasons me and Ghost Adventures to Cornwall are friends is because I defended one of his friends who tried to take his life on a live stream about...
Thank you, Sean Carter. Beardo calls the fakers out.
There was a divide in the very early paranormal community where one guy was selling haunted dolls, and everyone went, oh, he's selling fake haunted dolls. He's selling fake haunted dolls. And he decided to go live and do some spirit box, and a mass bunch of people came into that live stream of his and started egging him off, saying, KYS, unalive yourself, right? And this guy had actual mental disabilities. And he
Toady,
did try
you attend my live streams. So what are you doing here, stirring it up?
Fuming. This is why Mark likes me, actually, funny enough, is because I kicked off at all of my friends back then who did that and who were part of it and thought it was hilarious and told them all to do one, and I stopped talking to them completely, which then they all turned on me. Stupid. It's absolutely stupid to do this bullying. Again, you're more than welcome to criticize or debunk, if you will. I don't care.
Talking about channels has nothing to do with me.
At the moment, bullying or sending your audience to harass people, That's when you're literally, Jesus Christ.
If you want to talk about bullying, should we talk about the guy you were jumping up and down in front of and screaming in his face and threatening him with all your mates circling around him and he's just stood there on his own? That was bullying.
It feels like I'm that same guy 8.5 years ago having the exact same conversation, but with a whole different community of people in a whole larger setting. Yes, Ghost Club Paranormal is right. Some people could end up becoming very suicidal over this. And I'm not going to lie, when I get called names like that and I get people harassing me, especially when I'm in a dark place and my family's, going through hell, yes, it even made me not... I mean, I'm not the type to...
But you're talking about somebody else, not me, eh?
Word for it, unalive myself. The way I look at it is I've made it this far. There's no point giving up, really. But some people...
Michael MT, if you've never seen a debunking channel debunk anything, I don't know what you're looking at. Bullying means their lives are miserable and lonely. I'm married with
aren't
kids.
exactly as capable of holding back. And that's why I think it's quite important that if you are going to debunk, keep it strictly to the video and don't be harassing people. Again, when you can look at a channel as if they're not a human being, make stuff up about them, slander them, or even in worst cases like Adam Mark's scenario, where you got contacted by one of these human beings who's a YouTuber saying, listen, you can have your video, but can you please hold off because my mom's like dying tonight. And he's just like, no. How can you do that to somebody? How can you seriously be that evil? And then you think that you have some moral high ground. I mean, would you like to say anything? Because I have so many more topics I need to get on, but I'm
not getting into an argument with him.
Real quick, Stevie baby, thank you so much for dropping
But Adam,
by. That is so incredibly kind of you. Again, it'll all be...
I've bullied Adam Mark by making one video in the entire time I've been on YouTube. That's when he dropped the thing about his mum on me, not before my video came out. Or how else would he have known that I dropped the video without seeing it first? He sent me edited footage as raw footage. He had time to do all of that. You're talking out your ass.
Going to Europe with Dan. But
I know for a lot of you watching, it's probably a case of you watch one video and then you follow the drama onto another video and it sort of looks like a bit of a table tennis game, and that's understandable because obviously I was the same. I don't do YouTube, I'm not part of it, I've got my own thing. But seeing it from sort of Andrew's side of it, which is behind closed doors, and you see the behind the scenes things where he's having to constantly check comments after a Beardo video because he's insinuated something that isn't factual, or he's implied that he's done some sort of criminal activity, which again he's got no receipts for, he's got no proof of, because it's not the case. Because he says
That's criminal. That's not me throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. That is recorded on Andrew's channel and on my channel. Criminal behaviour. Same as pulling a skull out of the grave.
It in a certain way, and he creates his narrative in a certain way. It villainizes Andrew specifically. I can only talk about Andrew because, like I say, it's close quarters.
A1, shut up. Nobody knows who you are, mate.
That side of it where Andrew's having to step away from things because he's constantly having to check his comments, see how many people are like threatening him or calling him this, that, and the other, or saying that he should go get sent down for things that he hasn't done, and it's things like that. And it can get too much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ghost Club Paranormal, I miss the days where we could agree to disagree without getting personal, yet you had 400 people berating me, saying that I beat my wife, I'm a misogynist, and I've over-sexualized your friend, and all of that stuff, and I'm the bully. You took your live stream down over the shit you pulled, and I'm the bully.
Yeah, seeing it from this side, it can get too much, and I think it's hard for somebody who's not a creator and who's just a viewer. I think it's hard for them to see the opposite side of it.
Yeah. Real quick, Chris, dropping a humongous $7. No matter what, we need to take care of each other. Yes, we're all humans. We need to take care of each other. Be you and be true. We need more love for each other. Love you, Andrew. Love you too, man. Honestly, Chris, I absolutely appreciate you a whole hell of a lot. Right. Where else do I continue? So, well, going off of what you just said. Yeah, no, I'm going to be honest with you. Insinuating to 20,000 people that I'm a PDF file is absolutely not on.
Didn't happen.
What went through your head? And this is where hypocrisy comes in. So I believe Beardo, not so long ago, had to apologize, maybe it was a year or so ago, for being mean, and he said he would stop. Well, he hasn't stopped. That's the thing. Fine, if that's just you as a person, you're a mean person, and you like to just put human beings down, whether you like their content or not. It's like me, for instance. I even tried to extend an olive branch. I tried to moderate him and say, hope everything's cool. And you're going to go and say that to me. You're going to go and insinuate that and then try to take some low blow at me like, oh, look at...
I did not insinuate you're a PDF file. My exact words were, it is completely legal, but immoral, the age difference. And if it was my daughter that came home with a 40-year-old man, I'd fill him in. I didn't say you were 40. You're twisting narratives, yeah? I mean, you've been doing it for 8 years, lying and twisting narratives. So, you know, I got hammered by a couple of them when I stood up for my friend. Exploring with Harley, I didn't even say a word to you.
Your
I just
views,
fucking
and it's
ignored you.
What? Why? Why are you trying to kick people when they're down? I do not understand that. It's a horrible mentality. But then I'm only going to touch on this lightly just because, again, Ouija Brothers don't have a channel at the moment to defend themselves, and that's not fair to do that to them, regardless of my
More
feelings
salt
about
gun.
them. It is what it is. But yes, fine, I will admit, and it's not just me. I've had...
Can I get a
every other
roar?
person
Yes,
I
you
was on the
can.
phone with tell me the hypocrisy that if they had done something like that, they would have had their head ripped off, right? And that's true. And I've had my head ripped off more than you would ever know. It's not nice. It's not fun, and it's horrible to get attacked like that, right? But fine, fair dues. You're all open to your own opinions. But then if you're going to call yourself a fair debunker, and then in the end go, okay, fine, I'm biased. Certain paranormal channels get a free pass. Well, then you're not a debunker, are you? If everybody else gets a free pass, whether it be their morality or if they're fake or not, and you just cherry pick who you like and who you don't like. I mean, fine, you're a human being. You can do as you please, but don't expect you to have any sense of credibility or anything really. How can anyone trust you if you...
Am I really getting told off about credibility and sensibilities from you?
just pick and choose, you know? It's not debunking, though, at this point. It has really come off as bullying. And after what I've experienced and everybody else...
It was debunking because after 7 years, the Bone in the Wall story came out and you were the biggest perpetrator of the lies about it. I reported on it as a debunker. What do you want? That was your doing, not mine.
Who has been going through it, experiencing, you know, periods of anxiety, depression, and just like being attacked because of this stuff. You know, questioning their own personal self, all of that, that's probably more on my end. I question myself a lot, and I hate it when people sit there and try to tell me I'm a dick all the time. I really do not try to be a dick. It is not nice. Again, it's really just toxic. But the funny thing is, there are certain debunkers I do like, who are fair, who are nice, you know?
Oh, great shadow side is in you. This, for the most part, is a collection of people that have lied, made fake content, or, like in the case of Shadow Side Paranormal, tried to bully content creators and debunkers themselves.
Not
and this is the
personal,
only...
I genuinely feel that...
Beardo talks with his views like a
debunking
sports
channels,
announcer.
They do have a place in this community. But I do feel like
Dick.
channels like Beardo's absolutely do not have a place in this community. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, unsubscribe. I'm not going to sit there and say anything like that. Because it's your choice who you like. If you like to watch somebody, you're absolutely free to watch whoever you like. But I'm still going to stand up and say...
Can we get a hot diggity dog?
I also noticed, which this is what's mind-boggled me a lot, nobody's talking about it properly. Now, I understand that if somebody comes at you...
If I called him a PDF file, wouldn't he have got hate? Like, a lot of hate. Nobody else picked up on that.
With a really harsh thing like that, such as going after Ghost Club or going after Ghost Theory, and every goddamn channel's name starts with Ghost. That's why I called myself Proven Demons. Ghosts on Trent, for instance. Everybody's Ghosts, whatever. Ghosts of Britain. Anyway, they had a visceral reaction, and so do I. You know, I love how I got commented on the fact that sometimes I get angry, and I say how I feel, and that is me as a human being. I don't typically have to hold myself up to some standard if I don't...
Right, that is you as a human being, so why can't I be a human being? Double standards again.
If I want to, though everyone can have an opinion. And
Thank
say,
you,
"Oh,
Occult
should
Life."
do that. It's not very professional. You made yourself out to be an ass. Well, what's the matter? They made, you know, if somebody attacked me first, I'm in my right to say, hey, that's not fucking on. How dare you? You know, everybody, there's two sides to every story. And yes, sometimes people are going to get angry. For instance, imagine, say, if Beardo said some of the stuff he said about us to somebody in person. He'd get sparked out by some people. I don't know. I'm sure Dan, by some people, I don't know. I'm sure Dan, by some people, I don't know. I'm sure Dan...
Not acceptable in person.
Well,
it's just not acceptable.
it's not acceptable in person, but apparently they think it's acceptable in the comfort of their own...
This is the problem.
Their own share, you know? And that is a problem. I think it's...
If I'm such a problem, then why was Dan messaging me a year ago? I've made one video on you, Andrew, since you sent messages to me as well, via other people to say we're all cool and made me a mod. If I am that bad, if I am so much of a bully, then why did you moderate me on your channel? Why was I all cool up until I mentioned bone in the wall?
It's not right. I just think it's absolutely cruel to be doing that to people. And, well,
Breathe.
I need to breathe. I'm talking a million miles an hour because I have so much I have to say. And, oh my God.
There's the effect right there. You can see it makes him nervous because he's got a lot to say because this has been happening how long?
He's nervous because he's had a drink.
Over the span of a couple of years. It's
yeah. I mean, I got 6 videos on me, and not even really debunking videos, just more or less about my moral character, who genuinely, I think I'm an all right guy. I mean, nobody has to like me if they don't want to.
I mean, I think you're a liar that messes with human remains, and you're proud of it. That's all I have to say on it.
I'm just looking at my Spark notes here because I got a lot that these people have told me. I'm seeing what I've missed. Nah.
I mean, without obviously mentioning names, you know of at least, well, there's at least 4 channels where it's affected their mental health to a point where they've stepped back. You know this for a fact. They've distanced themselves from the community and they've tried to do things on a very solo basis because they've been worried. There's people that won't even speak to you because they're worried that they're going to get called out as fake and this, that, and the other.
Don't even get me started on that. Yeah, that is another annoying thing. There are channels that are cool with me, but they're feeling peer pressured not to talk to me because of shit Beardo said about me. And like everyone's afraid, oh, well, if I associate with that guy, then blah, blah, blah. You know, again, a lot of us other YouTubers, we don't really care if we think someone's a cool person.
Real YouTubers, you cheeky bastard. You go out and release your one video every couple of weeks. I release 3 or 4 a week. I do multiple live streams a week. On top of that, I do investigations when I can. Why does that make me any less of a YouTuber than you? What, because you've been at it for 8 years and you average the same views that I do? Everything you were accusing me of, like every other faker I've ever called out, you're doing you, and you can't see it.
As long as my main rule has always been, whatever you want to do on your channel, I will do with them. If they're a cool person, that's the content they want. Whatever I do on my channel is strictly mine. It's my channel to let out my creativity and whatever I want to post. And that is the rules we go by. This is why I can work with so many people that so many people would sit there and go, oh, they're fake. So what? They're good people. I know them personally. And whatever happens on my channel is my content, and whatever happens on their channel, if they want help with that, that's their...
Oh, really, Haunted? Here we go.
But dividing everybody up is just absolutely ridiculous because now it's turning into this thing where there's enemies. I mean, like...
There's a schoolyard split now. It's like...
Yeah, well...
I keep seeing these comments. Debunking is not real. They are giving their thoughts and personal views. All of these people going out pretending they can talk to a ghost week after week after week after week after week are giving their views or lying about it.
Okay,
it's
for
the
instance...
channels that Beardo says is real, and it's the channels that Beardo says isn't real, and then he's in the middle.
Right. Well, I mean, can I give an example here? Ghost on Trent. I've never even spoken to you. Your videos sometimes pop up on the screen and all that. I mean, at some point, I probably thought, okay, maybe I'd go and say hi or something. But I can already get the impression, because of whose side you're on, you don't like me. But
let me at him, Andrew.
You don't know who I am. I mean, maybe
it's not very tree-huggerish of you, is it?
Perhaps you don't like my moral capacity, which, to be fair, I think I'm a pretty reasonable guy. I mean, if I wasn't, I wouldn't have friends now, would I? But again, there's that divide.
Peter Sutcliffe had friends. He didn't have no morals. I'm not saying you're on that level by any stretch of the imagination. But to see if I haven't got morals, I won't have friends, there are a lot of people with no morals that have friends.
Already can tell. Ghost on Trent, you probably don't like me, would never consider working with me, or even if you did, your mates, or you'd be peer pressured not to, just like some other people have told me that they're peer pressured behind the scenes not to talk to me. I think that's stupid. I think that's genuinely stupid. There's no need for there to be beef. The only reason I have beef with...
I've never watched anything from this Beardo weirdo. So how do you know that that's my nickname? I just see his thumbnails and skip on by. I doubt he's ever gone to a haunted place himself to put his money where his mouth is. It's been 30 East Drive 4 times, the ancient Ram Inn twice, just off the top of my head. Just saying.
It's because they take things personally, or I knew them personally in real life. So, for instance, those one about the Ouija brothers. You all think it's about...
Mythos is horrible.
It's not. Me and Steve and Griff and Dave used to be really close friends. They've stayed at my family's house before, you know? Like, we used to hang out all the time. And Ghost on Trent, that's fine. You could class my content as entertainment. To be fair, I do things that I deem entertaining. But have you ever watched one of my videos?
I've watched a few and they're not entertaining.
Have you ever actually seen what I do? I mean,
Actually, the salt gun was entertaining, but for all the wrong reasons. And then after the side guy mocked it, you're like, yeah, it was all a joke.
my videos are just spirit box and digital recorder. That's it. I tend to mostly make content going to awesome places. That's my gig. Having a laugh with my friends, going to awesome places, or just testing out demon rituals that I found online just to see if anything happens or not. I don't fake spirit boxes. I don't fake EVPs, nothing like that. Well, there you go. But again,
Didn't you rip the Ouija brothers a new one after they debunked the spirit, the EVP box that you were all using? I may be wrong, but I think that was a thing.
there's a divide. Fair play, whatever. Also, let's see, Explorer returns in here. There you go. Even Connor's in here backing me up. What's up, brother man? Side guys in here. More salt gun. Yeah, salt gun. See, that's the other thing. Some people don't understand it's okay to have a joke, you know?
Exactly.
It's like, I want to do a video where I have
Unless I make it.
a holy water gun just for a laugh. Why not? Why does ghost hunting always have to be so serious? I mean, not like I'm masking things and making things fly all around the room, or like, you know, pulling wires and stuff and making shit fly everywhere.
Beardo breaks a
Genuinely, I'm just
commandment.
Spirit box and EVP user, and I just like to
Good job, I'm not religious then, innit?
and find interesting stories. But that's my content that I do in my own time, and I've made it this far in life on my channel doing that, you know. But that was another thing which I was going to talk about more in depth because it really upset me last night. Was basically being told that my value or my worth as a content creator is devalued due to the fact that a video of mine has less views than theirs. Now, I find that absolutely comical in a way because
You're the one that mocked me for being a baby YouTuber. I bet you won't mention that.
you must be so low intelligence to genuinely think that somebody's spiritual journey and their content, their art, whatever it is you want to call it, their hobby, and they're sharing it with their audience. First off, even if it didn't get fucking big views, what's it matter?
Fuck it, and commenting.
How does that value a person? How does that value the content if it's good or bad? It doesn't matter, you know? End of the day, it's what I do in my own time. That's what other people do in their own time. But to sit there and think to yourself,
I better not, because he'll behave if he knows I'm there.
Look, your channel sucks now.
That's literally what happened.
That's like the biggest low blow. And again, going back to bullying, I'm going to sit there and point fingers at my channel. Like,
You did it to me when I was under 1,000 subscribers. This guy's under 1,000 subscribers. He's a baby YouTuber.
and be like, oh, he's got lower views this time. So what? I don't care about views.
My views are lower than they were a year ago.
I do it for my audience who are here, who back me up every day, and that's the best fit for me. That's, oh god, I cannot.
I mean, this is one of the busiest live streams you've had in a while, because you've put me in the thumbnail and I'm a bully. The same as the other big one you had was because you had the Ouija brothers in, because 9 times out of 10, you and the Ouija brothers are live at the same time and you're smaller than them. Nobody's mocking you for it. But when some of us do say things like, where's your channel gone? It's because you told the Ouija brothers they would never amount to anything. You told me I would never amount to everything.
Talk to save my life.
You do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
You don't go out there to ridicule anything. You don't go out there to take the mick out of anybody, and you don't go out there to pinpoint and point fingers at people who are real, fake, or otherwise. You go out there to genuinely
He can't call people fake when he's spent his entire career faking.
enjoy your life and see if there is anything, on the other side. You do certain things, but again, if you do something tongue-in-cheek because you find it entertaining, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's people take that as gospel, and that's when you're fake, this, that, and the other. But
I didn't mock the
you
salt
didn't do
gun.
the saltwater gun because you did the saltwater gun as an absolute real thing that was completely tongue-in-cheek, and it was a case of, if it works, it works. Oh my god, a bonus. But you had a laugh doing it.
I did. But yeah, valuing somebody based on views is just disgusting. I work with so many different people, some of them not even YouTubers. It doesn't matter. Views and numbers mean nothing. They're just numbers on a screen on an internet server, okay? Who cares? The only reason it should matter is we all know that, the bigger your views, the more income you make. So you have the freedom to pay your bills or, go out and film more and do good old ghost hunting paranormal stuff. But anyway, we're getting off track here. The main point is, and I think I've made my point, Beardo, you're a bully. You genuinely are. You can deny that you're a bully. You can sit there and say no, or you can just openly admit, hey, I'm an asshole with an opinion. That is fine. But
I'm an asshole with an opinion. I've been saying that for years in real life in this. But I'll tell you what I do. If people are doing horrible things in real life, I will call them out in real life. Do you think if I saw you in the street, or if I went around to video a graveyard and I saw you pick a skull up out of a grave, do you think I'm just going to stand there and go, yep, cool, and walk off? I'd be like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? Put it back, you disrespectful prick. That's my morals. You cannot question my morals with the shady shit you've done, or the video of you jumping around that guy with all your mates stood around in a circle while he is on his own terrified, and I'm the bully.
Unfortunately, at the end of the day, I personally feel that you lying about people is morally wrong, ethically wrong, slanderous, to say the least, or at least inferring that people are something that they are not, to try and change the public's opinion about them, is a disgusting tactic that if you do pride yourself in whatever numbers you are making, fine, you know, fair dues. But you also have to accept the responsibility on top of that. You are responsible for a audience. If you are an influencer, that means you have influence, and it doesn't mean you can use your influence for evil. You understand? That's why a lot of us try to stick together and be friends regardless.
Picking a head out of a grave is evil. Calling you out for it is not. I mean, how can you have so little moral values to the dead, but then be such a crybaby wet wipe when it comes to somebody calling you out for it? You're a bitch.
Because we're all human beings at the end of the day, and it will take just one sparse comment to send someone over the edge and end up offing themselves. I mean, hell, I literally just watched your video on me again. You were insulting this. I don't even know who Smug Puppy is. Don't even know who he is, and you were insulting his house, saying it was disgusting and filthy and he needs to do this, and how could a TikToker who makes such and such live in such grim that makes him disgusting. Imagine what kind of bad place he might be in. You don't know. You don't know.
The guy mocks people relentlessly, spends tons of money on his PC and cameras and stuff to fake the paranormal, yet doesn't paint his walls and lives in black mold. What you haven't pointed out there is I keep saying the black mold is really dangerous and you need to sort that out.
The guy. You don't know any of us. I mean, you making videos about Adam, you don't know what he's going through. When you making videos about me, calling me that stuff, you don't know what the hell I was going through.
And what, am I psychic? Am I psychic? Did you know what I was going through when you said that you hoped that I died in a car crash on my way to 30 East Drive? Deny it all you want. That shit happened on a live stream. You were pissed out of your skull, chucking back shots of vodka for hours and hours and hours, to the point where you were crying, calling me a bully, and then modded me a year later. You're lying out of your ass.
I was going through fucking hell, and you still went for it. I mean, I don't get it. The fact that you're using... How do I articulate this?
Creating his narrative to insinuate that someone's doing something or saying something or being something that they aren't in a negative light is basically influencing the audience he's got and the wider audience to create an idea in their own head that's incorrect.
While at the same breath not knowing who any of these people are in real life or their status, and making income off of their content. Because let's be fair, I mean, as irrelevant as one might want to call me, you definitely get the highest views off of videos about me. And even when I'm...
Let's see then. Let's see. The highest views that I get are off Andrew. Ghost Hunters, Most Haunted, Sam and Colby, Most Haunted, Zach Bagans, Mindseed, Kelsa Ann. Right, you're not there. You're not there. That's not you. That's one of the scumbags you introduced to the community. You're still not there. You're still not there. My biggest videos are the ones made on you. You haven't featured in the top 50, mate. Ghost Club Paranormal are more popular than you on my channel. Oh, I didn't include you in that one. And it did well. Oh, there we go. There's one that did well. Oh, there's the two. There you go. 2 years ago, all the way down there. I had to scroll past all of these because my best videos
not
about
part of
you.
the drama, like you not calling out the Ouija brothers, I somehow still got dragged into there, and I ignored it. I ignored it, and then finally I just said, screw it, because everybody keeps asking me to say something, so I'm going to say something. Do I think it's unfair? I mean, if he was a real debunker, sure, it would be unfair. But unfortunately, I, among many other people, kind of come to the conclusion that he is just a bully, and it's what he does. And I'm not going to pay him any more mind. You can make a response video on this. I have no interest in responding again. All I wanted to say is a lot of people, for some reason, feel really uncomfortable talking about what you've done to them, and they have asked me to say something for them. So there you go. That's
Ghost Club Paranormal, when I first interacted with them, wore a Slipknot t-shirt in honor of me because they were a fan of me. Yep, I'm such a toxic bully.
partially Ghost Theory's response, Ghost of Britain's response, my response, Adam Mark's response. I did try to get a statement from Really Haunted. He did not get back to me. Knowing him, I'll get a call at like 1 in the morning. But oh, sorry, I missed your message. It'll be too late, unfortunately, for that. And but I do know he actually. Well, I can't talk for him.
The reality is, though, that some people didn't want to get mentioned by name because they're genuinely worried about the like backlash of it, and that's quite worrying.
Yeah.
Because they should be allowed an opinion, like Leo's allowed an opinion. Nobody's saying he's
And I'm allowed an opinion. How come you're down to 93 people, Andrew?
a bad guy.
Or you've ended, have you?
I've noticed a few people saying, oh, he's really nice. I'm sure in person he's a lovely bloke. You know, no one's saying he's a bad person, but the way he's creating the narrative
Andrew is
causing people to think that other channels are bad for that reason.
And I have a good question here because I see, yes, Ghost on Trent is in here talking about, I mean, I see you're on your high horse going, not faking and all this. Okay, great. Well, guess what? I don't fake my videos, so fair dues. We're on the same playing field here. Real quick, Outside Paranormal Research Society dropping a $5. I have my response video coming out about Mythos and his lies. I don't even know who Mythos is and how the debunkers backed him without looking into it all. Fair play, man. Everybody, you know.
No. That guy sent me messages berating Mythos, wanted me to stand up for him. I took one look at his channel and it was a joke.
But if anyone can dish it, they can take it. Again, I'm unfamiliar with Mythos. I've heard the name a couple times. I don't know who he is. But it goes on Trent. If you want to back up Beardo, that's absolutely fine. But you also have to admit that him lying about people is not fine. I mean, how can you? Oh, you did reply to me. Oh, really? Han is in the chat now too.
Prove the lie. Please prove the lie, because all you've done is talked. You haven't shown anything. You have nothing to back this up. And the only things that you've lied about, really lied about, is I didn't hope he died and all that. You said that shit on a live stream. You even apologized to me for it on a live stream after it. Why did you apologize if you didn't say it? You're a born liar.
Late now for me. I would love to tell your side of the story if you feel like you've been bullied, but you're more than welcome to share your experience in the chat. But yeah, I mean, how you can back up anybody you want and whoever your friends are. I don't care. But you know, how can you trust a debunker who literally lies about people? I literally don't get it. How can you trust somebody who literally lies about people? It's the weird.
How can you trust somebody that has no respect for the living or the dead? How can you trust somebody that breaks into houses? How can you trust somebody that is lying like this? A lot of people watched you say those nasty, nasty things to me. A lot of people saw you apologize. So how can they trust you when you're lying, Andrew?
Weirdest thing to me. You just can't, you know? But whatever. I personally, I think I got my point across as it stands. 45 minutes of me basically saying what everybody else in the community has been dying to say.
No, it's a small portion of the fake community.
And nobody else wanted. And also, Beardo, if you ever try to insinuate I'm a PDF file again, I swear to God, we're going to have a lot bigger problem. And that is not a threat. There's nothing like that.
No.
That is a threat.
I will tell you, authorities will be involved because that is absolutely disgusting.
Call the authorities, Andrew, because that is not what I said, you plum. What I said was, it was not illegal, as far as I know, but it's highly immoral, the age difference. That's on my channel. Screenshot it, screen capture it, send it to the police. They will laugh at you. Absolutely laugh at you, and maybe go, he's got a point.
Behavior to say in front of, well, 20,000 people watch that video. You're welcome, because it was a video about me nonetheless. Anyway, with that, last thing, Jips dropping down a $5. Been a while, Andrew, brother man. Love you all, Demon Army. Miss you guys. Missed you too, brother man. I will have a fun high blah 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 live stream coming soon. Probably next one will be with Dan or something. But there we go. With that being said, everyone, stay positive. Try to be friendly with everyone. Just don't sit there on a high horse thinking you're better than other people. Nobody here is better than anyone else. Literally.
I am better than you, Andrew. I will say that proud as fuck. I am better than you. I have never done the shady shit you have done. There are better paranormal channels than you because they don't lie, they don't cheat, they don't break in, and they don't pick up remains. They are better than you. You are one of the worst of the worst.
We're all human beings. We're just trying to make content for people that people like. I don't care what kind of content you make, but it's absolutely no need to be nasty to people, try to bring people down, or even worse, try to divide the community, which is divided enough as it is.
The community isn't divided. There are separate communities, as there should be. There are the fakers, which you're included in, and the people that do all this really morally dark shit. That's one community. Then there are the debunkers and the real paranormal. People looking for honest truth. If you walk away from a house for nothing, you walk away from a house for nothing. There is the difference. And that difference has been there longer than I have been on YouTube. You can't put that on me. I'm just more vocal about it than others.
Great. You don't like fake channels. Just don't watch them. I mean, this isn't some like hierarchy sort of like club here. Like I said, I was more shocked when Beardo insinuated that they had taken over the game. Now, what game? What are you on about? This isn't. I don't even know you, dude. Like, it's not like we sit here with a list of every paranormal person. Okay, who's the best? Who's the best? Oh, they're the top of this one, top of that one. No, I'm just some dude that lives my life.
You sat on a live stream saying like, I chill with the likes of Mosaji, and then you listed all these big channels and you were like, and who are you? Who are you? Again, you're doing the thing you accused me of.
I wake up every morning, I go out and do what I need to do. I go filming when I feel like it, and I hang around with my mates when I want to. I don't give two shits about fucking some hierarchy. I don't watch other paranormal YouTubers. I don't care what anybody's up to. I wish them nothing but best, but
You clearly do, because you seem to know a lot about a lot of people. And you've gone around specific channels, so you've obviously watched their content and my content.
You know, just stop stepping on people's toes and being an asshole. I don't know why everyone has to be a dick to each other. Seriously. Like, if you don't like someone, leave them alone. You know, just leave them alone. There's no need. There's literally no need. Oh, wow, that's incredible. Phoenix DS dropped a humongous $50. I've never watched anything from this Beardo weirdo. I just see his thumbnails and skip on by. I doubt he's gone to any haunted place himself to put his money where his mouth is. He's bringing big claims about others. It's right to be skeptical. First off, thank you so much. You're an absolute legend, and that is an absolutely incredible amount to donate towards the channel. So thank you so much. That's amazing. Truth be told, I mean, I'm not going to be mean. I'm not. To sure, make content whatever you want. I personally don't like Beardo's content due to the fact that it's just mean to people. It's absolutely mean and unnecessary. But I understand why he does it, because if he uses my names or Ghost Club's names or Really Haunted name or anybody's name or Mosarji like he did the other day, you know, truth be told, it's the only way he's going to get views, because I've tried watching his ghost hunts, to be fair, and it's nothing but a group of people sat around circle jerking each other, and there's nothing that happens. He might be a good bully, online bully, or, you know, debunker, but he's a terrible ghost hunter. In fact, that's another point I would.
I'm a terrible ghost hunter because things don't happen in every video. You are so far removed from reality.
Like to make one of these days, which I'm sure all the ghost hunters in the chat right now would completely agree with me. What the hell makes you, you know, judge, jury, and executioner of ghost hunting? Bro, you don't know how to ghost hunt. I've watched your content. You're noob.
I thought you didn't watch ghost hunting content.
You don't know what you're doing. It's almost pathetic to watch. Like, but that's my humble opinion. There you go.
So, me chasing down noises and debunking them is bad ghost hunting.
You tell me my ghost hunting shit. Well, I think your ghost hunting is really, really subpar, to be honest with you. And I see why you reuse our names constantly to get views, because you yourself are incapable of making interesting ghost hunting content yourself. And I feel really sorry for you for that one, actually, because it's actually not that hard. Anyway, with that being said, I love you all. Peace out. This video's staying up. I guess Beardo wants to do a response. Well, Beardo, you can have your response all you want, but at the end of the day, you are an absolute bully, and you have set a lot of people off. You've sent people to hospital, you've set people into suicidal moods, and you have lied about so many people.
She's gone to hospital for a medical condition, and that's somehow my fault.
That your credibility is in the trash, unfortunately.
Where's the ghost theory comments, Andrew?
But then again, you are biased, and you will cherry pick who you like and who you don't like, which thus debunks your debunking. Love you all.
No, it doesn't. I stand by good people. I don't like bad people. You're bad people. I've tried to see the better in you. I've tried to have a laugh with you. You in turn had a laugh with me, and then you've turned it into this. You reek of desperation.
Well, peace out. Good night. Bye.
Beardo the bully. Andrew, I'll give you your due. That's the best thumbnail you've ever made. So, I have been recording for around an hour because I paused and I spoke in between this bullcacker, which is exactly what this is. Absolute bullshit. And you've made that much of an impact, I have not had one negative comment. You have sat there, lied about me for a full hour, lied to defend yourself for a full hour, because you did say the words, I hope you fucking die in a car crash. You said those words with tears streaming down your face, like a little bitch. And then when I said hi in the chat, and Kaylee was going, he's in, you suddenly changed. I saw your guts fall out of your ass. You shit yourself when I turned up. And the only reason I didn't say anything tonight was because I knew full well the second I opened my mouth, you'd hold back because you're a fucking coward. Now, with the little bits I did see in there, Exploring with Fighters didn't really say anything untoward. Fair play to him. But you guys have all messaged me. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Andrew, this is not a good look for you at all, mate. Absolutely not. I don't know why I'm calling you mate. I wouldn't scrape you off my fucking shoe. To sit there and call me a bully, and then you sit there and call me a bully after saying you hope I die and then denying it. To sit there and say I called you a PDF file when I clearly didn't, and that video is still on the channel for everybody to go and check out and see that I did not say that. I said, is it illegal? No. Is it morally right? Age gaps. There is a difference between 16, 18 and in your 20s. Massive difference. Sorry to say. To then say, how dare you berate my channel? How dare you come down on my channel? That's bullying. When you called me a baby YouTuber that will never amount to anything, you'll never see 10k subscribers. You're an absolute joke. Everything you've done there is an absolute lie and a joke. So this is going to go out on Thursday night. I could drop in now, but what's the point? Let him have his little win. Let him have his little victory lap. He's probably hung up on that thing and gone, I've showed him. And then probably had a little giggle because he knows he's lied about me to try and get away with whatever. Not a good look, man. Not a good look at all. And to base an entire live stream on lies and say, yeah, I've got this important thing from Ghost Theory, and then never actually read out anything from Ghost Theory, that's quite wild. I think they may have sent you something because they put a post out, revenge is whatever, and fucking what. I don't care. None of you mean jack shit to me. I will keep calling out fakery. I will keep calling out lies. I will keep calling out immoral actions. And I will keep picking and choosing who I want to react to, because this is my channel. This channel is based off my thoughts, my feelings, and my look into the paranormal. I don't tell anyone to unsubscribe. I don't tell anyone to go and give hate. In fact, I tell them the opposite. And you kind of made out a little different in that, I think. I may be wrong. So do please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't be toxic. Don't call names. I've done it because he's outright fucking lied about me. And there is nothing worse than a liar calling me a liar. Much love to you all. Beardo out.
Somebody from your side that was going to come around my house and all the rest of it, you know, fucking exploring with Fanny. I ended up installing CCTV all around my house just in case, because, you know, he was going around damaging people's properties, threatening people, smashing cars up, smashing windows and all the rest of it. But shit, maybe he will come after me. He's told people he's coming after me. However, you have to take into account that you were in a relationship with Really Haunted's daughter, who was barely out of school, and you were a much older looking man. Some people have said things like, she was underage. I think that's an American thing with certain states. The age of consent is 18. In the UK, it's 16. Listen, I don't agree with it. If you're a 16-year-old girl and your boyfriend is 18, I suppose that's fine. If you're a 16-year-old girl and your boyfriend is in his 40s, that guy in his 40s probably needs to belong in a cell. It's a little bit close, you know what I'm saying? Legally, it's fine. Morally, it is bankrupt as fuck. You weren't in your 40s, but you were a damn sight older than her at 16. A lot of people were trying to tell me that, you know, she was younger than that. I saw no proof of it. I kept my mouth shut about it. As far as I know, it was all legal.